The committee is resumed on the New Zealand Productivity Commission bill. Before the dinner break, the committee was debating Part 1, and the Honourable Leanne Dalzell has the call and has 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining, if she wishes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Leanne Dalzell.
I've actually spent the entire dinner break reflecting on what I said before. Before the dinner break. And I've actually decided that the responsible minister is the correct minister. It should be the Minister of Finance. And the reason that I've come to that conclusion is that if it was the Minister for Regulatory Reform who undertook that role, then it would primarily shift the focus of the Productivity Commission to one related to regulatory matters, and we don't agree with that. So on reflection, I think I've managed to discuss this with several colleagues over the tea break, and I think we are now of one mind that in fact the responsible minister that has been selected by the government to be the responsible minister under this Act, or by the Prime Minister, is in fact the right minister. But it is good to have the Minister for Regulatory Reform in the chair, and the reason that that is good is because I know that his party and he was a significant driving force behind this, and although I don't agree with the emphasis on regulatory matters, I do think that the emphasis on growing New Zealand's productivity, enhancing our productivity, and looking at all different aspects of productivity in order to improve New Zealand's economic development is good. And so I think it is important to acknowledge the role that Rodney Hyde has played in this particular matter, and so therefore it is good that he gets to debate in the chair. And it is only Thursday night after all, according to the clock on, or the calendar on the wall. And so given that we're well, actually I'd have to say that probably being an urgency does reflect a significantly higher level of productivity than one would normally get from this place. So, well, it depends. If people have actually taken advantage of the sort of approach that my colleague took in the previous bill, which was to get the government to finally concede that the point that he'd been going on about for quite some time was in fact correct, and yes, let's fix that little problem, then it's amazing how much more productive the place can be, because actually otherwise there's a high risk of a little bit of filibustering going on. But that's not what we're doing here, because we think that the New Zealand Productivity Commission bill is very important, and we do want to see this legislation passed, and we do want to see the current government utilise it in the way that we intend to utilise it to get the productivity gains for New Zealand that we need.
Grant Robertson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.